Come on. Right, here we are then. Sorry we're about 5 minutes late, viewers, but here we are. It's the Fully Loaded. It's Thursday night, and it's the Brain Dump channel with lovely panel members already organised down below. Well, they're here anyway. I don't know about organised. But anyway, without any further ado, then let's crack straight on and go through the panel and get them to say hello. Then I'll give you some information about how you can get involved with the Q&A, and then we'll do some news and topics. Awesome. Right, okay, so let's go from my left to right. So we'll start with Beast Rider Bobby. Would you like to say hello to the folks?
Hello.
Fantastic. Oh, look, Richard's already searching around now for something to... we'll let him look around and try and find something. Just get something happy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Ow. Excellent. Okay, so cheers for that. I don't know what else to say. Awesome. Weggy, we want to say hello.
Hello, baby.
Hey. Excellent. Cheers, Weggy. Dave.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Brilliant. Never gets old. Excellent. Cheers, Dave. Let's go across to Richard. I think he's prepared something now.
Come find out. Ding dong. How about that? Is that do you? Hi.
That's brilliant. Thanks.
I love the way you say it with such a... That's brilliant. Thanks.
Well, it's kind of creepy.
I've had more expressive Daleks.
Just don't get your plunger out. Right, okay, let's go to Gaz.
It already is.
Hi, Gaz. You want to say hi to the viewers?
Evening all.
Evening all. Excellent. Right, I think that's everyone. I've already said hello, so that's fantastic. I think the infamous Biker might be along soon. I've sent some invites out, and if you want to join in as well, obviously you can. You just need to send me a PM. I'll give you the Skype details, and it's all good from there. Okay, let's quickly talk about how you get onto the Q&A. If you're watching this on YouTube, down in the bottom left corner, if there is a little advert thingy there or something, just close that, and this little link comes up saying, get involved in the Hangout in yellow, words to that effect. Follow that, takes you to Google Plus. On Google Plus, you'll see in the top right-hand corner of your screen a little icon with squares in it. Click on that, and you'll see Q&A. Switch on that. The jobs are good, and then you can ask questions. There we go. Alrighty then. So let's quickly go to the Q&A now, quickly, because we've already got something in there. Quickly go to the Q&A quickly. Sort it out. All right. Anyway, Susnet says, "Hi, buddy." He says, "Evening, chaps. Better late than never." Yeah, sorry, mate. We're 5 minutes late. Richie was busy fiddling with himself, but we've got it sorted. So it's all good.
I'm fully plunged now.
Oh. Nice. Get that image out of your head before it gets there permanently. Right. Okay. Right. We will move to news and topics for this evening. So I'll start with Gazatron.
No news really. Well, got some news. Managed to get some small waterproofs off somebody. Kev, I think it was Kev. He said he swiped them from some poor lad's porch. They're way too small for me, but I don't know. If anyone wants them, they can have them.
Must have been the extra small ones.
Yeah, they're like kids ones, but I don't know.
Gaz, could you just Skype them across to me?
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, God, here we go.
Okay. Hey, they're not bad, are they? Well, yeah. Oh, hang on. I thought they were adult size. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're definitely not mine. They've got some high-vis stuff on it.
No, that's just a bit of bandwidth problem going through Skype.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. Yeah, absolutely. That never gets old.
No real topics. Actually, I thought of one. Vigilante behaviour. I'll put a link in Skype to a video I saw today of someone parking in a disabled parking space, and they covered this car with post-it notes, blue post-it notes, and they used white ones to do the disabled sign. and they basically covered the whole car. Should that kind of behaviour be condoned or not?
Yes, yes, absolutely yes.
Absolutely.
It's better than what I'd have covered it in.
I was thinking it was doing really bad, but post-it notes, that's quite tame, really.
I'll see if I can find the video.
As long as you super glue them on.
Nice.
Right, okay. Did you have a topic as well, Gaz?
That was it, really.
Okay, right. Post-it notes in cars and disabled spaces for awesome. And obviously some waterproofs there. Excellent. Cheers for that, buddy. There was a big signpost as soon as you started that one, but excellent. Okay, let's go across to Bobby B. What news and topics he has over in New York?
Oh, man. News yesterday was freaking fantastic. It was Forget Work, Let's Ride Day, and that's exactly what we did. My buddy Spider and I we took a ride out to an area called Port Jeff, Long Island, just hung out there, checked out some bikes along the way, and just had an amazing time. And I think that instead of once a year, we should do that at least once every couple of days. As far as topics, has your vlogging style changed since you first started? No, yeah, I really didn't have a topic. I was thinking about stuff, but everything just sounded, kind of contrite. I don't know. It just didn't work for me, so I'm gonna go along with you guys.
Okie dokie. Cheers, Bobby. Very good. Okay, then let's go across to Richard Carnbiker for news and topics.
I've just had a look at Gaz's video link. The worst thing about that is, there's my topic or my question. Why do people take in videos with phones? Always hold them that way. Turn them round.
If it's in vertical video mode, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
That's not really my topic. How would you deal with people commenting on your videos with something you can't really follow? There's something confusing. How do you deal with that?
Something that's got absolutely nothing to do with the video whatsoever?
Yeah, something like that.
Right, yeah. I think I know what you'd probably do.
Yeah, I just wondered how people would deal with that.
Yeah.
So I've had that before.
Yeah, I've had that as well, funny enough, Richard. Yeah. And then sometimes people sort of carry on a conversation.
Do they?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like they know what they're talking about. It's like another language.
Weird.
Yeah,
All weird. So that's my topic.
Okay. Okay then. Comments. No sense or savvy. Okay. Right. Excellent. Cheers for that, Richard.
Failing that,
Yeah.
then I would say, which is better in a video? Accelerating at somebody and then claiming that they pulled out on you, or wheeling down the road. Which do we prefer watching?
Wheeling down the road, I think.
Well, it's a topic for discussion, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh God, I've let my cat out of the bag.
It's to talk about the relative merits of.
Okay.
Because you don't see them type of videos very often, so I think we should promote them wherever possible. The wheeling, the.
Right.
Yeah.
Or accelerating to cause a near miss.
Yeah, them ones.
I prefer watching paint dry, actually.
Or floorboards walk.
Oh, it's a topic, Bobby. Hang on. We'll save that one. Actually, maybe our topic. It's our first one tonight.
My
Excellent.
spider plant has been growing quite quickly today, and that was quite interesting too.
What was growing? Your pot plant?
Spider plant, yeah.
Excellent. Nice. Yeah, they can grow quite quick.
Good 4 inches of growth today. And the spider plant has gone quite well too.
Yeah. Excellent. Well done on the 4 inches, Richard. Right, let's go across to Suffolk Annie to rescue from all this craziness, I'm sure.
He's going to rescue us.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. News. My drifter's playing up. We drift Ghost. Went out and done a vlog the other day, and they got back and no sound.
Oh.
So checked everything because I never touch it. That's been set up. First I got it, I never fucking touched it. So anyway, tested the external mic, that worked, but the internal mic wouldn't with the mic, you know. So I've just ordered another mic to see if that's the mic that's fucked up, you know. So all I can do really, if that comes back, the new mic in a few days' time, and it doesn't work, then I have to go back to hatching cams. I supposed to be mended.
Good luck with that
Yeah,
one.
take warranty, is it?
No, I've had it a year and a half.
Oh God, that good old your warranty lasts for a year and then it breaks.
Yeah, I had it a year and a half, but that just, you know, I think that's the mic myself. I'm hoping it is, but I've ordered another mic, so we just have to see if I come back and that don't work, then I reckon I'm buggered with that one. Literally.
Yeah, good luck, Andy. I've got a camera that's under warranty and they're just ignoring me.
All right.
Action cameras. Action cameras.
Where do you send these things to be mended if they need to be mended then?
Are you wasting your time, I think?
Yeah.
I wonder if action cameras are on the way to going bust, because if you look at the website, they used to sell every camera known to man, and now they only seem to sell one set.
Yeah.
Which kind of smacks of somebody who's having problems with supply, doesn't it? Not that I'm saying that's definitely the case, but it is definitely the case that they're ignoring requests for warranty repairs.
I did notice, Richard, like you said, that when I went on the site, that there was very little on there, where before there was every bloody thing you could think of. So, trouble is, they're still running out of about £2,500, aren't they, for a new one?
Yeah,
that's the trouble. I've got a Drift H, it's an HD, an older one, but I haven't got a mic for that, so I have to get a mic for that and use that one. I suppose I think they're the same quality, aren't they?
the sound's about the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know about the standard Ghost and the HD, how different they are. I know the Ghost S is completely different for colours and stuff, isn't it? But I don't know about the standard Ghost.
Well, if the Drift 1080p is the Drift HD you're on about, then all you need is a 2.5 to 3.5 jack adapter, and any 3.5mm jack microphone will fit in it.
Yeah. All right. What even for the Ghost?
No, the Ghost is different as far as.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah.
Well, the Ghost will take any 3.5mm jack mic.
Right, there you go.
The only problem with the HD is that it has an odd size, this 2.5mm jack, which is why you need the converter. But you can put any microphone you like into your HD, into your Ghost. Sorry.
All right.
The converter will cost you less than £2 off eBay anyway.
If you've got, because I know most people won't even realise what one is now, but if you have in your position as a gentleman of a certain age, Andy, remember those earpieces that were mono?
Yeah.
You just had the one white earpiece you used to plug in. If you've got anything like that around,
yeah,
a speaker and a microphone are essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
And that'll be mono. If you can plug that into your Drift and just try recording on it, you might find that it'll be crap quality, but if you can hear something, at least you know your port's working on your Drift.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. The port is gone, you know, because we're always putting them in and out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you will be able to try it with the headphones you've got on now if they're 3.5mm.
Yeah.
Just try plugging them in and speaking into them while you're recording and see if it records anything. Then at least you know your port's working. Yeah. Because speakers and microphones are essentially the same. I think if you ever watched Danny G 1980, he's got the Sony and it records in stereo. So he did try for a while using a pair of stereo headphones, and then as things pass you on either side, you can actually tell which side they're passing on because you can hear it.
Right.
He did try putting one near his exhaust and one near his mouth, but that meant you could hear a really quiet voice on one side of your head and a ridiculously loud exhaust on the other.
Yeah, it's true.
I think seriously though, if it is knackered, I'd probably look at something else than the Drift, you know.
Yeah, don't blame me. I won't get another Drift.
No.
Yeah, another thing that could happen, which happened to me at one point, is your SD card could go bad. I would get great video and no sound, and all the mic is fine and everything with the camera is fine. It worked great, so I put it in the old card, no sound again. So
I've tried it on a couple of cards, I think, and yeah, I've tried it on a couple of cards, but I don't know. We just have to see. Watch this space.
All right.
Okay, and did you have a topic for tonight, Andy?
I did, but I forgot it. I was out on my bike this afternoon and I thought, that's a fucking good topic for tonight.
Is it how has your sheep shagging style changed since you started?
No, it's been made illegally in there, mate, with vaping as well. We can't vape and we can't sheep shag anymore in Suffolk.
If you do both at once, then is it two wrongs make a right?
No, but 3 lefts do.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
They make a man. But no, you can smoke a pipe though if you're right.
A sheep's pipe.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's.
Oh, please. Alright, I'm going to move on.
Andy, save me from this man, will you?
Right, let's move
He's got a warped and twisted mind, he has.
You only just realised that.
It's been on here with you lot. It's warped my fragile little mind.
Yeah, totally correct.
I think we both know that's not true, Rich.
I have literally no idea what you're talking about. Where's them little waterproofs?
I'll quickly say hi to Kev. We'll come to you in a minute for news and topics, mate. I know you probably prepared something. Yeah, exactly. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go to Weggy then for any news and topics.
Yeah, news-wise, the Expert 600 is under repair. I thought it was going to be a write-off, but fortunately or unfortunately, it's not been a write-off. It's going to cost about 250 quid to get back on the road. All I did say, the company were going to cover the insurance costs, and I told them that I'd rather go and get the thing paid for personally rather than have the bike go onto a Cat C or Cat D, because obviously once it's categorised, it's probably 50% of what I could possibly get for it in the first place. So Davey Brothers and Ipswich are going to get it sorted. Should have it back next week. And the company have agreed to give me the cash for it with the bill. So happy days with that one.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, superb. Enjoying that. Still tinkering with things. Getting that spot on. That's some news. Topics-wise, have your waterproof sizes changed since you began riding?
Hilarious. I'll tell you what, after watching that last video, I think I might need to go up to a flipping large. You know? Shocking. But yeah, did you have any topics apart from waterproofs, Buggy?
No, not really. Just suppose we can have a little chat about schoolboy errors on motorcycles. You know, the ones Bobby was promoting on his last vid.
Oh, you git.
Oh yeah, so actually new or two. Okay, excellent. So thanks for that, Weggy. It's good to hear about the FJ. I did watch that video of it. It looked pretty damn mint, to be honest.
That weren't
bad. Ironically, the Slayer was in the background. That's quite hilarious.
Killer. The killer truck.
Okay, let's move on.
It was the equivalent weight. It was a 2.5 ton truck lift. Weighs about 3.3 tons, and it had a 1.5 ton crate on it. It was about 4 cube. So the combination weight was probably about nearly 5 ton. That sort of slung the XJ across the floor.
Yeah, not good.
So, there you go. Anyway, it's getting sorted out. So happy days.
Yeah, that's good news. So I don't feel so bad about taking the piss out of that now. So let's move on to Dave and see if you've got any news and topics, buddy.
News, I start back to work on Monday. It's limited hours, but at least getting back in on the working front. And topics, Weggy's nicked half of it. It was, are you too old to make mistakes when you're riding your bike? And can you learn from mistakes even though you're older? Because I almost slid into the side of a car today on an island. Although it was his fault for coming out when I'm coming around, give way to the right and all the rest of it, and it was his fault for slamming on his brakes and staying in the middle of the road. It was my fault as well for putting myself in that position to assume that he was going to carry on going instead of braking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good one that. Okay. So too old to make mistakes and too old to learn.
Andy, I've got what I was going to talk about now, mate.
Oh, right, okay.
Just come to me. Did you see that they had the first prosecution for a lane hugger in the UK?
Oh, did they? Awesome.
Yeah, they had the first one, a van driver. So I thought, what do people think about lane huggers?
Okay.
That's a very good one.
I like that. I like the fact that
I'm
someone's
surprised there's only been one prosecution.
One. First one was in Wales.
brilliant.
Well, you can't trust the Welsh to do anything, can you?
No, not at all.
I like that one. I like that one, lane huggers. Okay. Who we got left then? Oh, Kev's disappeared now. Oh, no, he's on his way back. Is he there? Is he there? Oh, he's come back. Hi, Kev.
Don't know what the fuck happened there.
I know, mate. It's something to do with IT, I think.
Wouldn't know. Don't know anything about that stuff.
Nah, exactly. But now you're back, mate. You're just in time to do your news and topics.
News. I'm getting bad echo from somewhere, but I don't know where. But anyway, news. Not really bike related, but Jenny and I have been looking at new houses, and tonight we found one we really loved, and we're going to put an offer in for it tomorrow.
Nice.
So that's the only news really. In terms of topics, I haven't got any topics, but that's my only news. Pretty big news on my level, but not for you lot.
Okay. Excellent stuff. Now, have I covered everybody now? I believe I have. Have I covered you, Bobby, as well?
Yep, you got me.
Yeah.
But I do have some news for Kev.
Oh, right, okay.
I do have some news for Kev. A couple of hangouts ago, we were talking about me giving you one of my songs to see what you could do with it as far as a video. Yeah. And I've got one now that is pretty much ready to go. I got to tweak it a little bit. It's not going to be, super professional quality. It's going to be, kind of demo quality. But I figure, once I get that tweaked, I'll send that right over to you. So just let me know how I could get it to you.
Yeah, just email it to me, mate. Just send it over via email or something. Right. My email address is on my channel, so if you just jump on there, it's just hi, as in hi, at theinfamousbiker.com.
Cool.
Fire it over, mate, and I'll have a look. Yeah, awesome.
Awesome, dude.
Sounds definitely good, man. Cool.
Whatever you gave him, can I have a ruder one?
Oh yeah.
No, don't be as jealous as me.
I got in there first. You can have. I'm having sloppy seconds. You can have dribbly thirds.
X88, come and save us quick.
Yeah, well, let me just. I'll quickly give you some of my news. I'm not going to bother with the topic because it looks like we've got quite a few already. See how we go. News-wise, some of you might have noticed that my waterproof got stolen. There we go. So there's that. What else? I've got permission to go on the camping trip on the 3rd.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I'll be going to that. I'll just do Friday and Saturday and come back Sunday.
No worries, mate.
Excellent. So we'll be on for that. A few beers, boys. The other thing is, I had Audi road rage this morning, and I've got it all on camera.
Audi road rage.
Yeah. Well, nice. It was funny actually. It was weird. It was trucker love and Audi road rage at the same time. You kind of had to be there, but basically there was a truck on one side who had his thumbs up going, "Oh, I love the sound of the bike," whilst an Audi driver was trying to basically block me off and knock me off and squirt me with his washers and telling me that he thought he was pretty good at self-pleasure and things like that through his window for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So anyway, I'm going to try and edit that so it's fairly entertaining, and I'll put that up. So that was quite good. And I think that is all the topics. You know that I put the air filter in because you've seen the video. And you thought, oh yeah, there is some other news as well. I need to go on a diet and do some pull-ups. My God. I've been sat down for too long drinking too much beer looking at that video. Wow. That's terrible. So that needs sorting out.
So you're saying you're a bit of a fat fucker then?
I'll tell you what, I've got a bit of a barrel start in there from all the beer.
Oh, you'll catch up with me in the end, you'll be alright.
Yeah.
Wait to get my age, mate. You'll be fucking bottom paid for. You'll be pushing it around with a fucking wheelbarrow.
Yeah, mate, that's got to go. That's just out of order. That's just wrong.
And that's not your balls. That's your belly.
Oh, exactly. I've already got the wheelbarrow for the balls. Yeah,
Get to the doctors in.
That's outrageous. That I tell you, that's just happened in the last 2 months because I've been not eating the same food, and it shows. Right. Okay, so let's sort that out. Right then, let's move to the Q&A, and then we'll crack on with the topics. So yeah, now then, good old Skeggy Cruiser. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. I'm guessing you might let us know in the Q&A, but anyway, he says, folks, I can't quite do it as well as he can, but
How you diddling, folks?
yeah, nor can Dave.
No.
Oh, you diddling! Something like that.
Actually, Richard, that's not bad. Anyone else want to have a go?
I don't think that's going to work, Wiggy.
Andy, you'll never guess what I've
What?
found. You'll never guess what I've found.
Is it some waterproofs?
How you waterproof?
Oh my god! He's made them out of duct tape. That's awesome.
How did you do that with one hand?
Richard, can you send me them, mate? Because I think we've got some wet weather coming at the weekend.
Yeah, no problems. They might not be your ones actually. They're quite big.
That's all right.
How did you do that with one hand?
What's that, Dave?
How did you do that with one hand?
They don't call me Clever Dick for nothing.
There, they pay him. Right, okay then. Let's move on. Let's move on to Q&A. Decito77 says, Are you going to the toe rags, Mr. B? Are you going to the toe rags, Mr. B? I think you might have to expand on that a little bit.
That draws you nicely into my topic, doesn't it?
I think that's what that's
Oh
about.
yeah! Oh man, it makes no sense. Actually, what we'll do is we'll go to Kevin for that one first. But before we do that, let's finish off the Q&A. Right, Boo Ninja Rider says, "Hello all. Question for Mr. B. Where's Mrs. B? Did you trade her in for the MT-09? Not seen her since you bought it. All right, mate. She is here. She's just busy. But yeah, she's still around. Trust me, I'm sure she'll be back probably by the next weekend. So yeah, it's all good though. Thanks for asking. Oh, Mr. Biker there, he says, evening folks. Will participate as much as I can, but on call tonight. Slightly unhappy face. Hi, buddy.
So, yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's great to have you on.
have to dip out.
Oh, hang on, Jasuto77 is back with another stab at a question. Let's have a look at this one. He says, in the case of Weggy, I still can't understand to this day that many years ago I ever so slightly nudged a Triumph, causing it to fall to the ground, and apparently caused £4,000 worth of damage. Any ideas on that, Weggy? Was it a mirror he broke? Was it 4K?
No, I think obviously the newer the bike you've got, the more extensive the damage is going to be. Obviously, with the XJ6, it was the rear brake assembly was all pushed in. There was bits and pieces cracked and broken, but essentially it's an older bike, so it's, effectively it can be repaired a lot cheaper than what I thought. To be honest with you, had it been ZX, it probably would have been a different story. Hence the plastic. That's one thing the XJ hasn't got is plastic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I quite like that XJ as well. That's really nice. Okay, so there you go. Oh, hang on, let's just go somewhere else. Let's go with Blithering Biker. He says, there's a guy I subbed to, and he had his drift sent away for repairs. Richie Vida in his channel. Oh, Richie Vida is his channel. Okay. It got sent away. Did it ever come back, though? That's the question. So, okay, there you go. Cheers, Blithering Biker, for that. That's a new person there. Always like to see new people commenting on the old hangouts. Von Svartsnata says, evening, lads. Bobby, that last pull is the best one. What? Bobby, that last pull is the best one.
To do with his last.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
I've not seen that yet, unfortunately. And I got some waterproofs on eBay today. Extra small, €10.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, that's still not gold. Cheers once for Snarter. Right, Bimbleboy Blue says, "Evening, fellas."
Hi, mate.
What, buddy? How are we doing? Let's go to. Oh, there's another new person that's commenting. Awesome, and that's from Red Grandy, and he says, "Evening all. Enjoying the Tuesday and Thursday hangouts." Awesome, buddy.
Hi, mate.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, buddy.
the video that you just put up for the Think Biker thing. The one bit he said in there, he says he's got these multipliers that he keeps with him. He says them are very handy for taking off the Marks and Spencer's tags.
Dear. Awesome. Anyway, so yeah, don't forget, guys, there is a hangout on a Tuesday over on Bobby's channel there, so go and check that out on a Tuesday. Sometimes you find some of us lurking in there as well. Okay, let's go to Jasuto 77. He says it wasn't his bike. I'm guessing he means the Triumph. Excellent. Right, he's so clarified. Toe Rags IOW. Camping rally, sorry, should have been more specific.
In other words.
Oh, right, no, it's not the Isle of Wight, mate. No, it's a little camping trip that hopefully Gaz and Kev, that's Gazatron and Infamous Biker, we can go on a little trip to Wales on some twisty roads, and I'm allowed to go on my own. Awesome. Right, that means I've got my Mrs. B on the back so that I can ride in a slightly different style to normal.
Are you going to take the booster or the Yam?
I'm thinking the Yam actually, just for a change. You know, I just want to give it a proper ride on some twisties, and I've not had any twisty ride on that bike yet. Obviously, the Hayabusa, I've done loads of twisties on it, but yeah, if we're going to, I mean, you've got a, you know, no one's got like a full-on super monster fast bike anyway, have we, between us? We're all, so I think we'd be more evenly matched if we were on sort of similar type bikes. So I think that'd be good fun. So yeah, probably the Yami. Okay. So there you go, Jasuto77, that's what that is. Oh, Big Kev's in. Big Kev's in. He says, "Just a quick good morning, chaps. On my way to work." Good morning, Kev.
Morning.
Pete M flies in with a comment, and he says, "Evening all. Glad to see Bobby is now vaping again. Thanks to Mr. B for answering my questions on his air filter video. Question: what to look for when buying a new bike?" Okay, it's nice. What to look for in a new bike? Nice one. And you're welcome on those answers, mate. Thanks for all the questions on that as well, by the way. But yeah, hopefully I answered your questions anyway for you. And I'm excellent. Oh, and look at that. Bex88 dived in as well there, and she says, "Hello, everyone. Here's a question.
Hello, Bex.
When's part 2 coming, Mr. B? Is this about Mrs. B's SV, I guess?"
Yeah, probably bike caliper.
Yeah, Mrs. B's. It'll be done when I finish recording it this weekend, because I've been worked like an absolute dog this week at work. So my first chance to finish that video off. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm running on empty here. So, but no.
Yeah, like a bus.
Oh, that's brilliant. I like that.
I found me waterproof.
My colour.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
He's got way too much time on his hands. Fucking
I know. I tell you what, I will very soon dig out all the clips that I've got of Richard, and I will make some sort of montage in a video for everyone to see.
I'll be famous like a boss.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, I must say though, Richard must be feeling a lot better than he has been, because he's doing back to the drawings
Yeah,
again.
he's back to art now. Let's just hope he's not using his super dick for that one as well. Bex, awesome. Look forward to seeing it. Okay, Bex. Yeah, this weekend. Hopefully, I can finish that one off and get it out.
Oh, that was Bex's comment. I see. You said something about my super dick, and they went, "Awesome. Look forward to seeing it."
You're right, Rich. Right, okay, well, we need to move on to a topic very quickly, but Blithering Biker also says, long time lurker, he got it back with a new battery but no fix for the issue he mentioned. Well, that's useful. You might be able to point Andy in the right direction. Hi. So Andy, if you want a new battery but no sound, give that guy a shout. You'll be good to go, mate. New battery.
Yeah, good one.
And DC277 says, sorry to be a pest. Whilst on the subject, anyone here for the Bulldog? Ooh.
No.
I don't know. We wanted to go, personally, me and Mrs. B, but we don't know yet. Childcare is an issue this year. Anyone else?
When is it?
When is it? August the...
It's usually in August.
August the 27th. Something seems to spring to mind. I'm sure someone with Google on hand will be able to tell you exactly when it is. Or is it August the 24th? Somewhere around there, I think.
Is it the bank holiday weekend? That's usually the weekend of the early 20s. Because that's usually my birthday weekend.
Happy birthday.
Is that a subtle hint for everybody to send you the birthday greetings?
It's a subtle hint to say that I'll be pissed and I won't be at the Bulldog Bash.
See, I would go, but there's this little thing called an ocean in the way that might get my bike a little wet. So
pish posh.
Bloody excuses, I don't know.
Hey, oceans might get my bike a little bit wet, and I don't know if I want to go through that.
So someone might find out when that Bulldog Bash is. I doubt that we'll be able to make it due to childcare issues. So probably not from the brain dump anyway, and I don't know about anyone else, but it's normally in August sometime. Right, I've cleared down the Q&A, so I do want to get onto the topic, but before I do that, you never guess who's rolled in. It's only Tosh.
Hello, my Mandarin chums.
God, that's creepy.
Oh,
Everybody, Tosh wave.
oh, it's frozen in a really awkward pose. Oh, he's back again. Look. Tosh,
Yes, darling.
what's going on with your hair?
Get yourself a fucking haircut, Stalky.
I'm trying to be Elvis Presley. Am I doing the look?
Have you dyed it black?
No, it's the light in here. Just blame it on the light.
It's a boot polish.
Looks a little bit like Gary Glitter, doesn't it, really? In his heyday.
It's the boot polish.
Dyed it the wrong colour.
Gary Glitter special, that one, I'll tell you. Is that weed?
Tell you what, Tosh, I don't want to be in your gang, mate.
You can be in my gang any time you want.
Oh god. Oh god.
Why is it every week we seem to manage to get some sort of pedo link in to the conversation?
Just to put it into context, because we can't do that. There are other pedophiles available.
Yes, what normally happens when you say that is we start to run through the rest of them, but not tonight because I want to get on with the running topic.
So yeah, there's Rolf Harris.
So you can at least mention Rolf.
Sorry, right.
Take the peg, diddle lum with his extra leg, diddle lum.
That takes on a whole new sinister purpose.
Right, let's stop. Right, okay.
Careful, Mr. B will kick you out, and then he won't be able to get you back in again.
Oh yeah, that has happened before, you know. On here. Right. So anyway. Right, there was one from Richard. We can do this one really quickly. And it was about what you do with people that make nonsensical comments against a video that really has no context at all whatsoever. And I thought what we'd do first of all is we'd go to Kevin to see what he's got to say on that one. What would you do, Kev?
I've got absolutely no experience of that, so I wouldn't really know, to be honest. I've never
There's a ghost behind you.
Ghost in the window.
There's a stalker.
Candice influence going on here.
Fucking stalker.
Stalker in the window.
Look out, Kev.
It's Jimmy Savile's ghost.
He's going to be bugging now, isn't he?
Is that fucking Tosh? He's got that much money. He's fucking gardener.
Yeah. Well, I did see something white with two wheels get wheeled past at the same time, so I don't know if you want to check outside, mate.
Well, it's not worth
fine.
Okay, so anyone else want to take that one? What would you do if the comment that made no sense whatsoever and had no relation to the video it was posted on? Anyone?
I
Well,
just post one back and make it nonsensical as well.
Well, it
There you
depends.
That's all I do.
I think there's the one thing I definitely wouldn't do, and I think if someone commented something stupid that didn't make sense, I definitely don't think I'd then have a conversation with someone for like 20-something comments that also didn't make much sense. I just think that's a big waste of time, really, to be honest. I'd never do something like that. Would you, Rich?
It made complete sense to me.
I would probably
Something
just say thanks for your comment and leave it at that. But if there was two different people chatting on my on one of my videos between themselves, I wouldn't even comment. I'd just leave them to it.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think maybe that might have happened.
I think it might happen again if we're not careful.
Possibly. You never know.
Hang on a minute. I saw that flood in whilst I was at work, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? I can't respond while I'm at work. So, did I not ever respond to that?
No.
No.
I have to say, there was a link between every comment.
There is
It was a full-on story.
There was a story going on.
Yeah.
It's the letter T is the link in that.
Oh, Mr.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, and just not to make it a private joke to everyone, not Richard, Kev the Infamous Biker commented on my video Twitch videos. I don't know what happened. I think he might have been sleep typing or something.
No, it was deliberate.
Oh, okay.
Does that make it better or worse?
I can't wait to go to the next video, and I shall definitely put a comment on that one. But yeah, so then they had a conversation, all of which followed on with complete nonsensical sense. Quite agreed, to be honest, but I wanted to respond to it, but I couldn't work, and I kind of thought in my head that I did, but I haven't, but I will. Anyway, so that's what happened. And I can't remember which video it was on now.
Maybe Richard and I could actually read out our conversation.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh,
That
god.
would be mild.
Actually, that
I'll
would...
have to find it first, Kev.
We've only got till 11 o'clock, but
Hang on, no, there's about 20 comments, weren't there?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Which video was it on? Was it on the test ride video?
I think it was the SV one, the SV650 one.
Yeah, the test ride one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Mr. B, you put a comment in as well, so you need to read it too.
Oh, right, okay, that means I got to do the second comment, and then you two can do it, and you can do it as yourselves. How does that sound?
Well, I'll try, but I don't know if I've got a good impression in me.
Oh my god, what, you mean someone that does impressions you know of now as well?
Well, I don't know anybody that sounds like Richard.
What, inside you? Right, okay.
Wait, what?
Anyway. Let's find this video then. No, it was...
Right. I've got it up. Do you want me to put a link in the chat?
Did you say why he was inside me?
What?
No, let's leave that one alone now. Right, there it is. I found it. Right, okay, I'm there. Are you ready, Richard?
Are we ready? Are we ready?
Get ready for this, folks. This is going to make awesome viewing.
You might have built this up too much now.
I think I
In
might.
3, 2, 1, go!
Right. So Andy did the video, as we all know, when he did the test ride of the SV650, and through no fault of his own, the caliber fell off. So, in the complete context of the video, I left a comment saying, "They're all the same nowadays. Just look." ...
I don't understand why that's confusing.
So I responded to that. Oh, shall we not? No, let's not go. Then I responded. Let's just do the voices now. So, what are confused, slightly unhappy face? Ride safe, mate. Ride invisible. Mr. B.
You know, those ones that we're talking about when they did it, I've got to say, it's ridiculous.
Did you see him afterwards, Kev? All the cheese was ridiculous, and didn't see the pen.
Can't bike it, I know. Awful. Absolutely awful. I don't even know why they managed to miss that pen. I can't believe it ran out, though.
Yeah, the look on the Ram's face, and the chap's face for that matter. Contact details not required. Suffolk Andy would have been proud.
You have to ask, though, what would you do? Spelt EWE.
Well, it's It's a patrilineal society, so I suspect it wouldn't involve milking.
Ah, very true. Very true. But they do say behind every man there's an even greater woman. So therefore, there could be milking involved. Personally, though, I would have tried to avoid rear-ending the ram in the first place. I still can't get over that pen. Given the chance, Rich, would you have milked it?
Well, it was a big pen. I suspect a novelty item. I believe there's a pen museum nearby. It's a bit like the Cumberland Pencil Museum, except the lines at the door are easier to see and less likely to be wiped away.
I've heard about this pen museum. Not been there myself. Jen and I were going to go there one year, but a tanker full of Tipex overturned nearby, and I heard it was a total wipeout. Maybe that's why the pen ran out.
I remember that. Wasn't it Wet and Wild in Hampshire? It caused a layer of white over the surface, and some of the inflatables were incapable of being recalled because nobody could read the serial numbers. It caused a real problem where the woman was punched in the face and almost drowned.
That's the one. That's the one. Funny you should mention that woman. That was actually my nan.
Oh, God.
I warned her not to wear a white swimsuit. She was almost invisible with all that Tipex flying around.
That must have been annoying. How would you mop up the last of the curry sauce? Because now that I'm diabetic, I give bread and rice a miss. I just use a big spoon or lick the plate. But obviously not in restaurants.
Well, that's a silly question. I'd use chopsticks, obviously.
The celebrated chop waltz. One of the first things I learned to play. I like to try and marry it with a syncopated drum beat until the authorities complained about my accent.
The authorities always ruin the fun. Once, I got arrested for playing the spoons during a domestic violence abuse court hearing. It's just no fun.
I've heard of that type of action, but really I can't see how the two things differ.
Exactly, mate. As I said, they're all the same nowadays.
My bad. I must have misunderstood the original question.
Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Well done.
So, I think we'll all agree there's nothing at all confusing about that.
Well, no, it makes perfect sense.
And I have responded now.
Yeah.
And so, well, I wouldn't use that filter. You just get sour milk.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so that was the conversation. Can you believe that? I was reading that at work and I was like, what the? It was very entertaining to watch. Well, it was entertaining to watch this now played back and also to read it at the time. But yeah, crazy people.
I think a can of worms has truly been opened.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
How far off tangent can you go now? That's what's going to be now. You're going to start a conversation and see how many different strings you can go on.
I have to say though, there is a link between every comment. You just have to look for it. And I was particularly pleased with the one about not being able to rub out the lines at the pen museum.
Yeah, I love that one.
I was particularly proud of the "What would you do?" Because obviously we were talking about sheep and.
I did like the U. I really did.
I was quite proud of that one.
The EWE, you see, is a patrilineal society. I think it's in West Africa. It does actually exist. There is a link.
Do you know what? I can just imagine Richard sat there Googling the next most intelligent response.
No.
The thing is, though, the sad thing is, I don't think I had to Google that many responses. That just shows how what
I was just about to say, they're both that sad that they already knew.
Yep.
I find that often people do tend to call you sad for knowing stuff. So I've been hitting my head against the wall as much as possible just to try and squeeze some of it out.
Which head, sorry?
Both.
That's nasty. Okay. Right, so anyway, thanks guys, I enjoyed that. I was ready for you to recite it in character.
Did I do a good impression?
Actually, Richard, you was almost spot on.
Wow.
I don't think there's enough swearing in it on mine.
No.
Must try harder. And there was no apology, obviously. Thought to get that one in before one of you bastards did.
You didn't put what's going on at the start of your first question.
I didn't put what's going on either, yeah.
Right, okay. let's quickly attack the Q&A. There's a couple of things there, and then we will get on with our next topic. So let's quickly go to Skeggy Cruiser, who's put up a link to the Bulldog Bash website. Awesome. So if you check that link out, that's up there now on your screens. If you're watching this on YouTube, or actually if you're watching it on Google Plus, you'll see in the Q&A, you've got the asterisk on. You actually see it there. So there you go. That's the link to the Bulldog Bash. Blithering Biker seemed to enjoy our conversation that we had on my flipping comment section and then reenacted here live. And he said, "Mine, that." So yeah. An excellent Cito77 says, "It was the ghost of the waterproofs," and that's probably Richard's little cutout there that he did. Excellent stuff. Right, next topic then. Where should we go? Let's go with. Okay, let's go with something serious, and then we'll go back to something not quite so serious. So let's go with Too Old to Make Mistakes and Too Old to Learn, which came from Dave. Dave, would you just like to maybe expand or not, and then we'll go on to ask the crowd that we've got down below and watching, of course.
Yeah, today I was riding out and just doing what you normally do. You normally ride in, you see somebody pull out in front of you, you honk your horn, but you don't tend to, you cover your brakes obviously, but you don't tend to apply them sometimes. And he suddenly stopped right in the middle of the road. So of course I had to slam my rear brake on and gently ease my front brake on. And locked up the back brake, bike went sideways, he then pulled away in front of me. No damage, nobody hit anybody. You know, I was about 3-4 foot away from him when he moved away. And then when I got home, I watched Bobby's latest video about him making so many rookie error mistakes this morning. Or, well, when he did the video. And I thought, yeah, that'd be a good idea. Are you too old to make mistakes? Which I don't think you are. Everybody makes mistakes all the time. And are you too old to learn from them? Well, no, you can learn from them. As long as you understand what you did wrong, I think you can learn from them. What does everybody else think?
I never make mistakes because I'm perfect in every way.
All right there, Mary Poppins. Continuing on the nonsensical, let me answer this question by thank you for thinking the thought you were thinking, but I think the thought you thought needs to be rethought, so thanks. Are
you insinuating that I'm to tolerate this diabolic nonsense when one's mental capacity is not yet fully developed?
Yes.
With some more Dutch. Okay, let's go to next anyway.
All right, so yeah, I don't think you're ever too old to make mistakes, and I definitely don't think you're ever too old to learn from them. Some people fall into that that mode of saying, I'm too old to learn anything, you know, because they're set in their ways. But they're set in their ways because they want to be. You know, if you take the time to actually look at what's happening around you, and look at what's gone wrong or whatever, you can always learn. You can always learn, and no matter how much you learn, there's always going to be more to learn. So there's always the ability or the possibility of making a mistake. So the best thing I can say is go ahead and make your mistakes, but as soon as you do, figure out all the good points you can take from it, throw the garbage away, and keep moving on.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Gaz, do you want to add anything to that?
I don't think it's an age thing. It's more of an arrogance thing, really. It's like you can tell someone, you know, if you've watched a video and you think they've done something wrong, you can tell them. They say, no, it's their fault. Like Kev's favourite person at the moment, I can't remember his name, but
that would be Moto Motion.
That's the one. You can tell people.
See you next Tuesday.
You're going to see him next Tuesday?
I hope not, for his sake.
Yeah, he just laughs it off, or he says, "No, you don't know what you're talking about." He doesn't take any criticism on board. Whereas a more mature person will say, yeah, I see your point. I'll take that away and learn from it and move forward. But you find the arrogant ones are the ones that tend to keep crashing.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Cheers, Gaz. Kev.
I didn't actually hear the question, sorry, because I was typing out an email. I take it's something like, do we learn from our mistakes? Is that the question, basically?
Do you ever get too old to learn? And if you're too old, can you still learn from your mistakes?
I don't think so. I don't think, no one knows everything, do they? I think if you think you do know everything, then you're an arrogant douche, and you don't, you're the one that's more likely to have an accident because you're not open to learning new things. So much what Gaz said, really. If you there's always space for anyone to learn, no matter how good you are. So no, I don't think so.
Yeah, excellent. Cheers, Kev. Richard.
To add to Kev, and I can't speak for bikes because I don't know enough. But for other stuff that I come into contact with a lot in work and things like that, you find that the people, I suppose this is bringing Gaza into it as well, the people who are arrogant and think they know everything usually have learnt so little that they don't understand how much there is to learn.
Ignorance.
Exactly, and it takes you to learn a little bit more to understand how much there is before you realise how little you know and actually then apply yourself to learning it, or just accept that you never will.
Yeah.
Hopefully the former. One thing Dave said earlier, and Bobby's.
Has he stopped?
Richard's on the stroke.
It wasn't my fault. They know really it's their fault, surely.
Can you go over that last bit again, please, mate, because you froze.
All right, I was just saying something Dave said earlier, and Bobby kind of went along with it as well, was these people who and like Kev was saying, these people who will say, it wasn't my fault, it was the other guy's fault, it was whatever, and that they either don't know that they've made a mistake, which I doubt, or they know they've made a mistake and they're just kind of trying to cover it up and save face. But I think you just have to accept when you make a mistake and say, what can I learn from it? But similarly, there are some times when you think you haven't made a mistake. So you're going along a road at a normal speed, maybe a little bit underneath the speed limit, and somebody pulls out in front of you and you have to swerve to avoid them, and you get over, you're shouting in your helmet and you're gesturing and all that kind of stuff. And even though technically they would have been at fault if there was an accident, and I won't go into all the stuff about it, doesn't really matter whether they're at fault or you're at fault when you get hurt, but even in them situations when somebody pulls out in front of you, there's something to be learned from it, because you've got to think about how could I have avoided that. That's one good thing about having a camera on, that you can actually look back at what you did.
Yeah.
Tossi just put his indicator on.
Especially the moment it happened, the first words went through my head was, you shouldn't have put yourself in that position. Because normally I don't. Normally, in that position where somebody is pulling out, I am for the back of the car. I automatically go for the back of the car, so I'm always heading away from the danger. This time I didn't. Don't know why. Haven't got a clue. You're just riding along, thinking about other things as you do. You're going around an island which you're used to, so usual stuff applies where you take it for granted. And there was the 3 points that I've made from it. 1, he shouldn't have pulled out in front of me because he's supposed to let go. 2, he shouldn't have braked in the middle of the road where I could hit him. And 3, I should never, firstly, have put myself in the place where I could have hit his car in the first place.
Well, that's the key thing, isn't it? Is you can't fix their mistakes.
No.
But you can do something about what could you have done better. Be that positioning yourself, making yourself more visible, avoiding them in a different way. But as I say, it's just about, you've got to have that ability to analyse yourself. If you, for example, try and overtake a car down a very small slot as you're going into a multi-storey car park and nearly hit them, you don't just go, well, it was your fault. Kev knows what I mean. Yep.
Moto.
That's insane.
Motion. Don't. It just don't put yourself in those positions.
Don't be a dick.
Which basically what riding invisible is.
My old boss where I used to work, he used to have a very good saying, and it was very much geared towards IT, but it kind of
put it away, Kev. Was it?
It kind of translates into a lot of facets. And he used to say,
"Oh, that's a big one."
If you no, unfortunately, no one has ever said that. He used to say,
"Oh, that's a little one."
That's
does she ride invisible?
That's the common one. That's the one I usually get. Yeah. Is it in yet? I get that one a lot as well.
Yeah.
Shut up, you! Jenny just shouted something. Something like I know. I think it was. Never did.
She started crying again.
What he used to say was, "Will you shut up?"
Come on, let's let Kev finish it off. Come on.
What he used to say was, if you know what you don't know, that's a good thing because you know the limits of your knowledge. You know where your knowledge ends and where you can learn from it. But if you don't know what you don't know, that's a very, very dangerous thing because obviously, you don't know where the limits of your knowledge are, and usually those type of people are the very arrogant people who are just not willing to understand. Or
you used to work for Donald Rumsfeld.
No, I didn't. Why did he say that, did he?
That was him, wasn't it? The known unknowns and the unknown unknowns and known knowns.
Oh, I don't know.
Bobby, you're American.
What makes you think I...
What did you say about my Willie?
Is this the next topic?
No.
Okay. She said it's massive as she walked out, so it's okay.
Yeah, she
had a smirk on her face though, which
She didn't say in comparison to anything, but
it looks smaller because I'm fat.
Right, okay. Let's
not
move
going
on.
up to stringy cheese, are you?
Let's move on. Let's go to Savagandi.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
No.
Fuck knows what this question was about out of that lot.
Too old to not.
Right, as the oldest old fucker on here, I was fucking old enough to be everybody's dad, except for I don't know who.
Hey, Dad.
You probably are everyone's dad.
I am probably. Yeah, I am most. That's why you've all got them woolly fucking fur coats on under your clothes.
Where's my pocket money?
I think when that comes to age and experience, say if we're talking about bikes, it doesn't matter how much experience or how old you are, you make one mistake and you're fucked anyway. Doesn't matter if you're old or young. It's just a point of using your experience to the best of your ability. And we've always said this, you can easily make a mistake at any time. And I think with my ride, and especially as I'm an older bloke, I have to sometimes compensate because I'm not as fit as I used to be. I'm not as quick as I used to be, so I compensate more because I want to ride longer. As easy as that. So I think knowledge is a great thing and a great tool, but you've only got to make one mistake, and that doesn't matter if you're a new rider, old rider, sayonara.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
That was really deep. Okay.
That's what she said. Tosh, come on.
Well,
You'll go, Tosh.
It's not my go yet.
It is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
You've got Weggy next to
No,
Andy.
Willie comes after you.
Go on, Todd.
Okay. It is better to shut the fuck up and let people think that you are brainy than open your gob and prove that you're not. That's deep.
I tell you what, I could do with you coming up to where I work and saying that. Right.
There you go.
Right, so no one's watching. Okay. Is that your words of wisdom, Tosh?
That's my words of wisdom. And if you can't ride a bike and nearly hit a car, and it's not the car's fault, don't ride a bike. Slow down. Just slow down. I mean, look at Dave. He's a slow rider. He didn't hit anyone. Slow down.
I've seen Dave riding quite fast actually now and then, to be honest. But anyway,
Any other
let's
question?
No,
according to the conditions, of course.
No, I didn't mean he's a slow rider. I meant he's recuperating, so he'll be riding slow, careful, that sort of stuff. He'll be on his guard, and because he was on his guard, he didn't hit anything. It's when you relax and start doing 190 miles an hour, you're a fuckwit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cheers, Tosh. Nice one. Weggy.
Yeah, I agree with what the other lads have been saying. You're never too old to learn. It don't matter how many years you've been riding bikes. I mean, obviously you gain your own experience over the years. I'll be an extra sort with me son at the moment because obviously he's just done his season for the kid 125, and I'm trying to teach him all the safety issues that I've grown up with and I've become experienced with myself. But that's not to say that you get everything right, and you always got to be prepared to listen to other people, and that's one thing about ride-outs as well. You tend to sometimes pick up a perspective from, say, how other people ride, and you can learn little bits and pieces, just not through even words, but just through seeing how other people would ride a bike and how they would take corners and different reactions on the road. So there's that to learn as well. I'm pretty careful with my son at the moment. He's riding his motorcycle very well at the moment. He's sorted out the gears and getting back into neutral and getting ready into lights, that sort of thing. And we've all made the mistake over the years of sort of stopping, not thinking about what you're doing, stop the lights, and you go to pull away and you're still in 5th or 6th gear. The one thing I'm being very careful about at the moment, I'm not doing the filtering thing with him at all, not at the moment, because I don't think he's got to gain his own experience with filtering. When I think he's got enough experience with that sort of thing, then I'll go through it with him in the safest fashion, mind you. But going back to that, I don't like to say, we're all of an age now where we've got so many years' experience between us, and even from some of the youngsters' point of view, if you look at some of the YouTube videos, you can knock some people's way of riding, but that might be the safest way to ride for those particular people. But you can always learn, even from the youngsters. Youngsters have a different perspective. We were all young once, and you had to learn how to ride a bike, and you only gain experience for yourself over the years. And definitely, never too old, never too arrogant. And if the way you ride is the best way, it's fair enough. But you got to keep an open mind. And as I say, the road conditions have changed so much over the years. And you have to look at other people's perspectives and sometimes listen. You can learn from that. And if you're safe on the road, you can ride safely and keep other people safe. That's the way of thinking it, from my perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers, Weggy. And I think that just leaves me, and I'll hand it back over to Dave just to finish off that off. But obviously, as you know, I'm a seasoned rider, and I've been riding a long time. I still make mistakes, and I like to show people that I still make mistakes, hence the SB video. I put a video out before the SB video of pre-ride checks, but I got lazy, didn't follow my procedures. When we put that SB in the garage, I don't want to give the full explanation now, basically we put it away and I thought the brakes had been done. But because the bike isn't completely finished yet, we haven't gone and dotted up all the bolts and everything else. So I assumed that everything was okay, and I just put on some panels, and she said scrub the tyres in. And just learned another lesson, a couple of weeks ago when that happened. Always check the bike before you go, no matter what. Okay? So I'm always learning, and that's why I like to show warts and all. I mean, you saw the video of me drop the bike falling over on its side and everything else, because you can never know everything, and you can never think that you know everything, and I certainly don't. I never I never say that I do. So that's why I like to show those things, because everyone can make mistakes, but the main thing is that you learn from them. And I'm quite passionate about that, because I put some other videos about all the riding aids and the general thing of what's going on at the moment, where everything's done for people because are they too stupid and all that. But no, we need to make mistakes so that we can learn. We don't want to make the really bad mistakes that ends your life. But hopefully, other people will teach you enough to not be in that situation. But yeah, you're never too old to learn, and you will certainly always make mistakes, but definitely learn from them, and you will. That's the only way we learn, really, isn't it?
The main reason for the subject that I brought up today was so that our newer riders that we see can see from us that always learn, and accept that when you make a mistake, you've made a mistake. Don't just always try and say it's somebody else's fault, because sometimes it isn't. Learn from it, and you won't make the same mistake again, or it'll be many years before you do again. And if you come into that situation again, you'll have had a lot more experience to be able to deal with it, like I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Touche, yes.
Just going back to, Andy's video. Hands up to you, mate. At the end of the day, you promote, safety videos and videos on your particular channel. So yeah, to admit you made quite a serious mistake with the calipers. Let's be honest with you, it was quite a serious mistake.
Yeah.
It's good because it can only remind people. I mean, you've got a good few thousand subscribers. It can only remind people who do actually watch your channel and other people who do eventually join that these mistakes can happen. And they're so easily made. Only can't leave a job for 10 minutes, come back, about what you were doing, and that particular mistake can be very costly. I mean, there's like the little video I prompted up 4 weeks ago with I borrowed my mate's Yamaha under race and the gear lever fell off. It might not sound, it's not life or death. At the end of the day, what it did do was remind me that whoever's bike is using, mainly you use your own bikes, but if you're using somebody else's, that also requires the same amount of checks as if you were using your own bike, regardless of what somebody else is talking.
Yeah.
It definitely, mate. Yeah, it's definitely a learning process. And if you've got the balls to put a video up and describe exactly what the reason was, you've learned from that mistake, and so can other people. So that's a good thing, isn't it?
That's exactly the whole point, and that's my channel is about kind of like people learning from all sorts of stuff, including my mistakes. And I'll tell you what, any channels that are out there where they're squeaky clean and there's no mistakes shown, nobody is going to learn diddly squat from that. And I'll tell you something now, mistakes happen, they're just not published, whereas I'll publish them. I mean, I didn't have to publish that SV video. That is totally my fault. That is a catastrophic failure there. That could have killed someone. What I didn't do is I didn't check, and it's totally my fault. But there you go. It happens. It just happens. So check it.
Yeah, but Andy, the reason. Okay, we applaud you for putting it up, but if just one person, goes out and checks their brake caliper bolts and they're loose, you've now saved their life.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because it can happen to me, Mr. B. People might think that I'm, super awesome, whatever. I'm just a human being trying to help other riders, and I make mistakes, and there they are. So that's why we check out these things, because it keeps us safe. It's simple as that. And we could talk about that all day, but hopefully, I think you'll see that. I think out of this one, and it's a good subject, Dave, is that yes, we're never too old to learn. We certainly do learn, and we're definitely not too old to not make any mistakes, because we do. And I'm old, and I make mistakes still.
It's true. I'm a lot older.
Really are old.
It's true.
And all the rest of that. And a little bit fat now as well. So there we go. So I need to sort that.
Just like me, Andy, when you get my age, you'll be right. Cuddly, comfortable.
I don't know how good this will work, but this is the actual clip.
Right, see that.
I don't know how it will work, because you know what these things are like with their bandwidths. Let's just shrink that down a bit. It might help it to go. So there's me coming at an island, and I'm taking the third exit. I'm just going to go around here like that. You can see I'm not speeding or anything like that.
Scraping the pegs.
Oh, he's pulling out. Oh, shit.
Yep, that was it. And immediately I said, he shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, but he disappeared.
Somebody closed the wrong window.
I can't imagine anyone else that might have done that. But yeah, oh, here he comes. Yeah, that was the wrong window, Dave.
Technical error. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, mate. But yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that. I've not seen that video yet, but you totally, you forgot rule number 1 there, didn't you? I think.
Yep, definitely.
But yeah, and that's good that you published that, see, because people learn from that.
I will be publishing it soon.
Oh, right, you've not published it yet?
No, it only happened this afternoon.
Oh, right, okay, that's why I'm seeing it. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, and that's the ones that I think people learn from. These squeaky clean videos that everything's perfect, everything's fine, and I'm awesome. Nobody learns diddly squat from that. I think it's good to see the warts and all. So that'll be another useful video on YouTube when that gets published, Dave. Excellent. Right. Well, what I will do then, I think we've wrapped that one up. I will go to Q&A and then we'll go on to our next topic. And that will probably be... Let's go on a lighter note. Let's go on to Suffolk County's lane huggers after this one. So let's quickly go to Skeggy Cruiser though. He says that he really enjoyed that rendition. It sounded so much better in person. Although I did think Mr. B was a bit off. Yeah, I'm still trying. Sorry about that, Skeggy. Awesome, buddy. Back to Road Moto says, hi, buddy. He says, how do you feel about riding only bikes and never using an automobile ever?
Great.
Personally, I would love to ride a bike all the time, but unfortunately I've got family and kids and children and stuff. Sometimes I have to transport, but whenever we're not doing that, we're on bikes. Anyone else?
I'd love to be able to ride a bike.
I wish I had my music deck set, but I haven't.
Poor little wounded soldier.
I'll tell you what, guys, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. He's harmless.
Oh, God.
He's just got a chip on his shoulder. That's his problem.
Oh!
Sorry, that was really bad. Anyone else?
To take the piss.
I consider pros and cons as you get older in using both. When I was younger, I wouldn't think about using a car. Bike every day, winter, summer, snow, hail, sleet, didn't matter. That's what I use. As you get older, you start getting weaker and you start getting more feeble and getting cold in your bones. And you start liking the heater in the car.
Yeah. Actually, I've got a sticker on the back of the car which says, love to ride, forced to drive. And that's basically if I've got to take the kids anywhere. They're too young to go on the back of the bike, so I have to drive them. But that's pretty much, that's how I would sum it up.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I bought a car, 18 years ago. I passed my car test 18 years ago, purely for the fact my son was born. I had 2 kids, they're grown up. Said to my wife last year, right, I've had enough. So I sold the car. That's it. I'm on 2 wheels for good.
That's a commitment, that is.
Yeah, my wife's got a car.
I passed my car test I passed my bike tests when I was 17 and 18. I passed my car test when I was 21 purely because I knew that the longer you leave it, the harder the test gets. So I thought, do it now while I'm young and I know I can pass it, so that I don't have to worry about it now. So I've never had to do the theory test and the hazard perception test.
Yeah, that's certainly the case with us older ones who did the motorcycle test, isn't it? God,
Yeah.
Jesus. Bloody hell, mate. I mean, the car test, I don't know how much more vigorous that is now compared to 10, 20 years ago, but to be honest with you, the motorcycle test is a completely different bag of nails nowadays, isn't it? Completely.
Yeah, I passed both tests in the same week, car and bike, when I was 17.
Yeah,
So,
but that was only 10 years ago, mate.
They had cars back
of
then.
course it was, Tosh, thank you.
Was it one of them Fords? You know, the Model T.
The
Comes
what?
in any colour you want, apart from green. No, what is it? As long as it's green, isn't it?
Ford Model T.
It was green, I think, yeah.
No, the Ford Model T, they're always black, made in
Was it black where
1920.
there was a black?
They're saying that you're really old, you were born in 1920, which of course you're not. You're very young and very gorgeous, according to Mrs. B.
Well, when I took my car test, there was some bloke with a red flag walking in front of me all the time. So, you know. But we got there. We got there in the end. 4 miles an hour, crazy. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, thanks for that. Back to road moto. I think we'd all love to ride bikes whenever we can, but obviously sometimes we have to drive. We have to transport stuff.
I wouldn't want to buy furniture and have to transport an armoire on the back of my bike. That just suck.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, fridge freezers, no matter how you try, you just can't get one on the back of the bike.
I'd never have that problem because I don't know what an armoire is.
I had the mother-in-law on the back of the bike once. It was a bit like a fridge freezer.
Is anyone old enough to have been pulled over for speeding through a T-Rex crossing? I'm just wondering.
Only you and Mr. B.
All right.
Right. I've got
Mr. B got caught speeding through a mouse hole, didn't he?
He was trying to race Speedy Gonzales on his booster.
I didn't want the quarter mile.
he was laying carpet. Underlay.
Hey.
Right, okay, and you are old if you understand what under the email means.
Oh yeah.
Underlay.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. So I'm old.
That's why I kept looking confused.
No, I know who that was.
No, if you know Motor Mouse and AutoCat are, I think it makes you old.
Alright. Okay.
There you go.
Wait.
Nice.
I don't know Motor Mouse.
But you do know AutoCat, that's just weird.
What about
I've heard of Tom, but Jerry? No.
Hey, you gotta go back to Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not that old.
Oh, come on.
Go back to Thunderbirds, Stingray, and the like.
Let's just drag the train crash back onto the tracks for a second.
Rolf Harris.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Anyway, Jasuto
I could just say we got 30 minutes left and anything can happen in the next half hour.
Yeah, give me a topic. But yeah, Jasuto77 says, which I've already selected and it's now disappeared, but he says, we're not all too old. So thanks for that, mate. Pretty much what he said. In summary...
Hilarious.
BF says Mr. B had an excellent video on witness marks. Before the caliper video, just puts the comments into context. Witness marks?
I think you meant skid marks, mate.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
No, that was at the end of the first video, wasn't it?
Witness marks on this.
Yeah, well, you shoot your skid marks on after you find out you ain't got your calipers on.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a worrying moment when I saw that, I have to say. But anyway, yeah, cheers, Pete. And also, Back to Moto says, the other day on Beast Riders show, we talked about requirements to ride in the US. So what are the requirements across the pond? Okay. Well, there's lots of tests, basically.
You need a bike.
I think Richard would be good for this one because he's the newest one here that's passed his test, isn't he?
No, I passed after Rich.
I've not passed.
Oh, did you?
Not your motocross test, no.
There's a test.
You got a license.
You got about a second echo. I think Mr. B's starting to get to that point now where he's echoing.
It said on the back of my license I could ride up to a 50cc, so anything with a bigger number than that, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's as my
Is that a record, by the way, Dave?
Yeah, you're riding a 50cc per cylinder. You got a V16.
Okay, right. What I want to do now, because that's quite a big one, that Back to Our Motor, we have got some other topics. So I'll let the panel decide where we go from here. I did promise, didn't I? Lane Hugger, which was from Andy, and apparently the first lane hugger in the UK has been prosecuted for hugging the middle lane.
I think it's hogging, isn't it? Surely.
Well, hogging, yes.
Yeah. Guys, sorry, before we jump into this one, I'm going to have to make a move, so I've got to be up at the crack of dawn to walk the dog. So I will bid you all farewell, and I've got to do one. So I'll see you all next week anyway.
Take care.
And,
All right, Kev.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
see you later, guys.
See you,
Gonna
Kev.
you.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks for coming. Your input was awesome.
Well, it always is, isn't it? It's always
Yeah.
so useful.
It was, yeah.
See you later, gents.
See you later.
Later, Kev.
I'm sure walk the dog's a euphemism, but anyway, we won't go there now.
I use him as a good stuffing now, isn't he?
Anyway, you were saying.
More important.
So, Suffolk Andy, I'm going to go across to you quickly then. Let's tell us
Well,
all about breaking news.
yeah, what it was in Visordown, I think yesterday, and I sort of read the thing about it, saying that the first driver had been done for hogging the middle lane, I think in Wales somewhere. And that brought me brain to the thought. I was going down the A14 the other day, and there was some freaking knob in a sports car. And I think Weggy can tell you, the A14 is a lorry park, basically. The inside lane is a lorry park. There's just millions of them. And this guy was hogging the outside lane, dual carriageway, and the traffic was building up behind him, and he would not go over 65 mile an hour, and the speed limit was 70. And that just got everybody frustrated. And in the end of the day, there was a bit of a break in some lorries, and I undercut the whole friggin' lot and went past them. But when I went down the road, I could see back about half a mile, and he still hadn't came out of that lane, and everybody was trying to undercut him. What the hell is that all about? You know, if there'd have been a copper there, he should have been prosecuted because he was a friggin' knob. And you know, and the first one's been done, so hopefully we'll see more of it. What is it with these people who've got this mentality that they think 70 mile an hour, yeah, it's the speed limit, and I ain't going to budge out of the outside lane. At 70, it doesn't matter what builds up behind them.
Yeah, the main thing they have to remember.
Dual carriageways or motorways with 3 lanes or 2 lanes.
Yeah, I was taught. I think this guy was done for hogging the middle lane. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But he's been done. But you know the A14, Weggy, what it's like. And you get one person stuck out on the outside lane at 65 mile an hour. It's chaos.
I suppose in the context of, say, for instance, the dual carriageways, if someone's hogging the lane, you know, I work in haulage, so I know, obviously lorry drivers, and I know the score, they've actually raised the speed limit with lorry drivers, and I think Tosh is more up to speed with that at the moment. What is the actual speed limit for an HGV now, Tosh?
As fast as you can fucking go.
Seriously. With no votes of fucking ripping your ass off, mate, and sticking you in a fucking lay-by, yeah?
Yeah, it's
56, isn't it?
Yeah, 56 on motorways, dual carriageways, and 50 on B roads.
Yeah. Okay. Well, going back to dual carriageways, you know, you've got the 70 mile an hour, speed limit, so to speak. Now, obviously, from that perspective, anybody who's overtaken somebody who's doing, say, 55, 60, and they're going to get up to about 70 mile an hour, that's fine and dandy. If you've got the space, then obviously move over. We are obviously allowed, within reason, to go a bit above that to overtake. And yeah, it is fucking irritating. I think even more irritating is the fact when you're on a motorway, and obviously you're going to get possibly the slower ones, the more relaxed ones on the inside lane. You're going to get the ones who tend to stick to the middle lane. If they're doing 70 mile an hour, there's no real complaint because you've always got the outside lane. They're the fucking ones who irritate me more, the ones who start on the outside lane. You know, it's always the furthest lane, the overtaken lane, whether it be 2 lanes or 3 lanes, that cause the problem. Yeah? Now, if you're on a motorway, if you're going to be doing 70 mile an hour and you're quite happy and the traffic's moving at that sort of speed, then by all means move over to the second lane. If the traffic is moving fast enough, then by all means move over to the first lane. Yeah, but always give that space for people to overtake if need be. So, yeah, I'm in full agreement with that.
The main thing that people tend to forget is that on a dual carriageway, the second lane is overtaking. On a 3-lane motorway, the second and third lane are overtaking. All of the 70 mile an hour for the motorway is for all of the lanes, not just the first, second, or third one. You should always pull in when you've overtaken if there's room. It's as simple as that. I mean, sometimes you see a lorry that you're going to pass within 2 or 3 seconds or 5 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. You stay out, but when you've got that opportunity, you pull back in there's nothing worse than people like us going in the first lane at 70 miles an hour, and there's a bloke stuck in the middle lane doing 60 or 70, or, well, 60 miles an hour, and we have to cross 2 lanes to overtake them and then pull 2 lanes back in again.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with that. And so we're going back to the HGVs. I mean, there's talk for ages about keeping all the HGVs in what we class as the slow lane, as in the first lane. Dual carriageway, you'll be on the inside lane. On the motorway, you'll be on the first lane. And let's be quite honest, we're not being funny, but they are the slowest vehicles on the road, purely for the fact they're coming to by that speed. So if that was the case, and it was, whether they'll bring it or not, whether they actually stop HGVs overtaking unless it's for some other reason, I think that's the way, because that's where a lot of our problems are. We're doing something now, at least we can be doing something. HGVs won't be doing a maximum 50 mile an hour.
Has anybody noticed though on dual carriageways and motorways now you're getting a lot of motor car drivers driving slower than lorries on the inside lane?
Oh, fuck.
A mate, lorry driver, and he says he's doing his 50, 56, and he's overtaking cars on fucking dual carriageways and stuff like that because there's just hordes of them now just driving at 50 mile an hour, and even the lorries have got to overtake them.
That's the government's fault because petrol's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, there's hordes of them.
Yeah, so
wouldn't that be better to have a lower, if you go on, because let's face it, a dual carriageway motorway is for fast moving traffic. Wouldn't it be better, like they do in Germany, have a lower limit? You can't go under a certain speed on a dual carriageway, and you can't go over a certain speed. So if they had it at 60 on the inside, and say 80 on the outside.
There are roads that do that. I mean, don't have different speed limits for different lanes, but there are roads that do have a minimum speed limit, and you can be prosecuted for not keeping up with the flow of traffic.
Yeah, they got that over here. There's minimum speed limits on a lot of the highways here.
Yeah, the minimum speed limit here is 30 on a motorway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. That is so dangerous.
Yeah.
So am I the only person that uses a middle lane then?
I always say, if you can't go onto a dual carriageway and a motorway and drive 60 mile an hour, you shouldn't be on the fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not capable. You're not
well,
capable
56.
As long as the road conditions make it safe to do so. We're all bikers. We know that occasionally the rubber might be a little bit more sticky and the road might be a little bit drier, and allowing us to do 62, and that's all right. But we wouldn't be doing that kind of speed if it was torrential rain and stuff like that. So yeah, as long as it's safe to do so, keep to the speed limit. But then again, it is an uphill speed limit. It's one of those difficult ones where, because it's a speed limit, people can drive slower than that.
It's a limit, not a target.
Yes.
No, I know, and I've spoke speed. See, when everyone says speed, it always annoys me. It's speed to conditions. You adjust your speed to conditions. If the speed limit on the motorway is 70 miles an hour, and there's black ice or sheet ice on there, that doesn't mean you do 70 miles an hour, does it? You drive and ride to the conditions.
Sideways. Germany. Germany. They've got an autobahn which is completely unlimited. It's a 3-lane motorway, completely unlimited. You can do 190 miles an hour if you wish, which you probably would do on your bus.
Some of it's 2-lane, isn't it?
Yeah, on a 2-lane.
Yeah.
On a 2-lane, you're not allowed to do. It's not unlimited. It is limited. If it's raining, you have to go slow. If it's dark, you have to go slow. If it's winter, you have to go slow. There's loads of restrictions, but if it's clear, open, 3-lane, you go as fast as you want. It's just common sense.
Yeah. Well, go as fast as the conditions, basically, if you've got any sense about it.
There you go.
I think you'll find the same in France. When you go to France, the upper limit is about 81. Works out about 81 mile an hour. But you'll see signs on the side of the road with rain signs, and the limit drops. So if it starts raining, you have to drop your speed down to I forget what it is now, but you have to drop your speed. But the actual upper limit is about 81 mile an hour, which I think is a more sensible speed anyway, especially with modern cars today, bikes.
Yeah,
It's just these fucking friggin' idiots who drive at 30, 40 mile an hour in the inside lane that do my bloody head in.
Yeah.
And force the lorries out that then causes problems with the build-up behind them.
There's also a misconception that undertaking is actually illegal, but it's not.
It's not. No.
It can be deemed as dangerous driving. That's what you'd get done for. But you could argue the case that it's more dangerous to cross 2 lanes of traffic or 3 lanes of traffic to overtake someone that's in the middle lane than just to undertake them. Which is what I do. I just fly up straight at the inside. Fuck 'em.
Yeah, what I would say is, I know I've got echo, guys, so I'll try and mute myself when I'm not speaking, is that the speed limit on the motorway obviously is 70 miles an hour, and you can go at 70 miles an hour on the inside lane legally, and if that means that you actually undertake cars, then that's classed as traffic and not actually breaking any laws. You're not undertaking, you're doing the speed limit. But my biggest bugbear, and I'd like to know what everyone else thinks about this, is when you're trying to join the motorway and you're going down the ramp and someone is driving at 30 miles an hour and you're about to join the motorway. Yeah. That is the scariest, most dangerous thing that I could ever imagine. Because you think, I'm going to join the motorway in a minute and I'm doing 30 miles an hour. What are you doing? What do you think, guys?
Truck approaching you at 56 miles an hour.
They're not reading their highway code. Highway code states that the entry slipway is for you to gain speed so you merge safely into the motorway speed.
Exactly.
Someone won't even pull over, will they, to let you in? They just keep coming at the same speed, and you're coming down the slip road, and you're looking at them thinking, well, pull over, there's plenty of fucking room, and in the end you have to pull the throttle back and get in front of them.
Exactly. I think a lot of the time you come off slip roads anyway, normally there's a load of bushes and trees in your way, so it's only the better last sort of 200 yards where you can actually physically see what's coming up on the main stretch. You know, obviously you sort of let your throttle possibly boost your speed or drop it down speed to sort of filter with the traffic as it's flowing as you hit the main drag.
Well, the one thing I tend to do is when I'm on the motorway, especially if I'm in a car, you see an exit. Usually after the exit you get an entry. When I see an exit, I look for the appropriate time to pull into the second lane or the middle lane, depending on how many you got, until you pass that entrance slipway, and then I pull back in again.
It also depends on how many exits you have in a row, because there are some roads where there's just exits and entries as far as the eye can see. Yeah. But I mean, that's a nice way to do it. But when you get stuck behind that jackass that's trying to get on, and they think it's a stop sign at the end of the thing, they get to the end and they just sit there and wait. What can you do? It's a pain, absolute pain, and I really hate that shit.
You know, one of our biggest problems in Suffolk at the moment is just literally up the road from me, and Andy will know about this. There's a Shell garage just up the road on the A14, and the fucking hassle, the amount of accidents we have, because what it is, you've got the main garage on the left-hand side, and the slip road away from the garage is nowhere near long enough. So the amount of accidents we have with cars getting rammed and dropping the Orwell Bridge is incredible, Andy, isn't it?
Yeah, because of that, they're going to bring the speed limit down the Orwell Bridge to 50 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to put speed cameras on the bridge. These average cameras. Yeah. You're going to get it before the end of the year.
Yeah, like that's going to help.
There's no actual. Very rarely is there an accident on the bridge. It's all with this one garage, and they won't address the problem. But they think that putting speed cameras in and bring the speed down will make it safer.
As you know, mate, the amount of hassle, the amount of gridlock. You have one accident on the bridge where I'm talking about now, and that creates 2, 3, 4 hours of gridlock. Yeah. Like up the A14 for miles, and also around the town of Ipswich, just literally locks the whole town up.
The whole town's gridlocked. Yeah.
So I just want to go back to Richard because point, and maybe I didn't get it. So, you know, Richard, when you made that what I thought was a jest earlier, do you just want to clarify because I think I got that wrong?
Yeah, the riding in the middle lane. That I will do that as a matter of course. That's something that was first said to me by a policeman as the best place to be. It was then said to me by an instructor and then was followed up by the IAM. And the principle is that you're not lane hogging. What you're doing is you sit in the middle lane because all the trucks are in the left-hand lane, and that's where they're dripping diesel all the time. And that's where the road's collapsing because of the weight that's been on it.
Yeah.
And that's where people can be pulling in and off and all that kind of stuff. So you're sitting in the middle lane. Also, you know, motorways take you through countryside where there's wildlife. So if you're in the middle lane, you've got more chance to react to anything coming from your left.
Yeah.
But not the right-hand lane where you haven't got a chance to react to something being flung over the barrier if a car goes over something or tyre goes or something like that. So the middle lane should be your safest point.
Can I just add something quickly? One second.
Well, the last point on that, I'll just make a quick last point. The point is you have to be looking in your mirrors. So as soon as somebody comes up behind you, you're pulling over to let them past.
Yeah.
And that way you're not hogging the lane, you are riding in the safest position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put another way. How many of us, say for instance we're going down a motorway, how many of us generally speaking sit in the middle lane? Because I know for a fact I do.
Nope, I don't.
Oh,
I
really?
hate it. No, I always pull in. Always.
Why though?
Because if you're on a motorway and you're in the middle lane and you're at 70 miles an hour, because you should be at 70, and you're like, it's boring as shit. Have fun. Pull in.
If you want to have fun, pull off the motorway and get on the B roads.
Yes, I know. Sometimes you have to get on the motorway. So pull in, pull up behind the car, pull out. Go past the car, pull in. Get out. Next car, pull out. It gives you something to do. You're not bored. You don't lose your concentration, and it's just fun. It makes motorways.
But for some reason, I know you're saying.
Do what, Wegs?
I agree with what you're saying, but more often than not, let's be honest with you, traffic, generally speaking, is normally travelling lower than 70 mile an hour in the inside lane. And that's why I generally stick to 70 miles an hour in the middle lane.
Yeah, but if the traffic on the inside lane is doing 56 and you're doing 70, you catch it up really fucking quick. So you have to pull out and pull in and pull out and pull in. It just gives you something to do.
But if you want excitement, use the wrong side. Then you're really pulling left and right if you go on the right hand side.
Exactly.
On a serious note, I did a driving course with. I got a sports car and that, and was with police instructors, and they said the safest lane to be in car-wise now is the first lane, because there's always one lane that is 99% of the time empty, just to your left of you, and if you need to escape out of a situation, that's the best lane to go into. And also the solid white line has got little bumps in it to, you know, if you start drifting into it, say if you're asleep or you've got you're distracted somehow, you gently go onto those, and it gives you a sort of a nudge to say wake up or hey, get back in your lane sort of thing. Whereas if you're in the middle lane, you don't really have that, and by the time you get to the if you have got a problem or you're asleep, you're going out those outside lines at such an angle you won't even know, and before you know it, it'll be an accident.
The reason more for cars, the bikes.
Yeah, it is more for cars. Yeah, I think, but the majority of the lane hoggers are generally cars.
I think when you tell you if you was on the A14 going from Felixstowe to Cambridge into the Midlands, you won't get on the inside lane because it is a lorry convoy. Every inch of it is a lorry convoy, and they reckon that when Felixstowe docks is closed because of bad weather, if they piled all the lorries all the way back on the A14, in 24 hours they'll be back to Cambridge.
Yeah,
there's that many of them.
It's as simple as that, mate. I mean, you know for a fact we've got on the right hand side at Levington, we've got what's known as Operation Stack. So if there's any problem at the docks, say for instance the docks is closed down because of high winds, you've got obviously a quick build up of vehicles from all over the country. So obviously the operation stack is obviously to get the HGVs off the main stretch and onto this road, the old A45,
Yeah.
which is a little dual carriageway part of the road that Andy obviously knows about. And we get most of the HGVs off. But obviously, if you've got a real busy day with the port, or, you know, a couple of days even, you can imagine the amount of HGVs that are building up on that particular stretch of the road. Then, once that's full, they have to come up with a secondary plan. And they have actually spoken about pointing or giving us a third lane on the A14 for that particular reason.
That'll never happen, though, Wiggy. They never spend the money on it. They won't spend it.
But then you wouldn't get done for lane hogging if the first lane was full of traffic anyway.
Yeah, it's not lane hogging, you're overtaking, aren't you?
Yeah,
But there are sections of the A1 which have overtaking restrictions during peak times for HGVs.
Yeah, there's nothing worse when there's two HGVs and one's doing 0.25 miles an hour faster than the other one.
Uphill,
It's like 4 miles of overtaking before the other lorry pulls in again. It's like, fuck,
I think there should
really?
be some kind of law when the vehicle being overtaken, if it's not done within a minute or so, should slow down to let the other vehicle pass.
They never will. They never will, guys. The reason being is they're all governed.
Yeah, no.
There's a miles per hour difference between different vehicles, whether it be a Scania, DAF, Iveco, you name it. Within reason, they're all powered, they're all restricted to the same speed.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, yeah, I know that is what I'm saying is if you're being overtaken, slow down a couple of miles an hour, let them pass.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
I think you've nailed it there, Gaz, is that if a lorry, so this is to the lorry drivers out there, yeah. If you are being overtaken by a lorry who's slowly creeping up on you and slowly overtaking you, and you know it's going to take about 4 miles of road before they actually get past, if you just ease off the gas for like, 30 seconds, it'll allow them to get past, and then the rest of the traffic can flow, rather than just with your boot to the floor.
I must admit, Andy, I would go drinking with a lorry driver every Friday night, and he always says to me that when he's in his lorry and somebody's like that beside him and just not getting anywhere, he will knock it off. But he says 99% of other lorry drivers won't, because they're on cruise control and they just won't knock it off. And he says he does because he understands the road. But he says the most frustrating thing for him as a lorry driver is overtaking cars that are going so bloody slow on dual carriageways and bloody motorways. They're just driving so friggin' slow now.
The other thing that a lot of car drivers don't understand is lorry drivers need a lot of room. They need a lot of room to turn. Their blind sides are everywhere. If you're pulling up the inside or the outside of it and then suddenly come in front of them, they're not going to know you're there. So you've got to be able to see the driver for them to be able to see you, basically.
If you're driving a truck and there's a motorcycle, I shit you not, that motorcycle has to be at least 6 to 8 feet in front of the truck for me to even look over the bonnet, so to speak, and see you. If you've just pulled in and you're a foot away from my bumper, I can't see you at all, not one bit, and I'll pull away at green and I'll knock the fuck out of you because I just can't see you. So if you're on a motorbike, give them so much fucking room, it's crazy. But in saying that, you should be a lot quicker off the lights anyway.
Yeah.
When overtaking a truck, I would always, on a motorway, I always try and get a lane between me and them.
Yeah, because they get air wash.
Yeah. And also, a lot of them are left-hand drive, aren't they? And they can't see you at all down there, can they?
I like drive in the truck, yes?
Yes. I'm watching my video at the same time.
I'm making a coffee. You want coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I got distracted then. What was that about coffee? I've not had a coffee in 15 minutes. What's going on?
Looking at motorbikes from a HGV point of view, they are bastards. Because I'm driving my truck and everybody else is having fun going past me. The bastards. But
At least you're driving something.
oh, bless you. Just if you are on a motorbike, just be aware that the blind spots are at least 10 feet all around the truck. So stay at least 10 feet away from a truck when you're at stop.
So should I not overtake on the left on a road where there's a turn into the left and you're indicating left then? Is that what you're
Yeah,
trying
of
to...
course you can. No, you can if you're quick enough.
Okay, right.
The
So
one
no.
thing a lot of cars don't understand is when a lorry driver is coming up to an island and he's in the left-hand lane with his right-hand signal on, that means he's going to cut in front of you when he goes around the island. So don't get yourself in that trapping the ever narrowing trap point between the
Or even
island
if they're going
and
straight on,
the lorry.
even.
Yeah, if they haven't got rear wheel steering on the
like-
trailer, then it's going to come into you.
The thing what get me with some lorry drivers, you're coming down the road, you're on the outside lane, you're doing 70, 80 mile an hour, and you can see these couple of lorries in front of you, and then one just pulls out to overtake, and you have to decrease like fuck. And I'll tell you what, you want to get out and stop that lorry driver and give him a fucking good item.
Yeah, guaranteed, mate. I mean, the amount of times that happen.
Oh.
And like you say, the lorries, because they're running pretty much at the same sort of speed, they're running absolutely parallel, nose to nose for about 4 or 5 miles, and that's fucking irritating. Because they know they can't really get past.
Yeah.
But that's
There's
not
no
blind
need-
spots, is it? That's just being a prat.
No, there's no need for it. I mean, if I'm on the inside lane and a truck's overtaking, and if he's going to take more than a minute, I just go click once on the cruise control, just once, and that's 1 kilometre, because all trucks work on kilometres. Click once. All I have to do is click one down, and that truck will get past me in 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Piece to piece.
But they don't all do that though, do they?
No, they're too busy making coffee.
Yeah, and watching the video.
Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll have to wrap that one up then because of the time that's going by. So, good conversation now. And so, truck drivers, if you're watching this and there is a truck trying to overtake you, and it's going to take a long time, click it down one on the cruise control, or just get off of the gas just for a second to let them pass so that the traffic flow. Okay, right, so we're going to go to the Q&A quickly. I'll try and clear them down, and then we will say goodbyes before we go off air. And so, Disuto77 says, I find it irritating even if they are hogging the fast lane at 100 miles an hour plus. Yeah, sorry about that. Excellent, yeah, I understand what you're saying now. The Lyrim Biker says, my DAS instructor always told me to ride what you can, ride to what you can see. Yeah, so basically ride to the conditions, yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Let's try and see where it's going to go. All right, Bimble Boy Blue says, got hit by a car last summer, ouch. Legally, it was cut and dry as the driver was at fault. I got paid. But even as I was bouncing down the road on my head, I thought of 3 or 4 things I could have done to improve the incident. The first one was don't crash into cars. It's true. yeah, it's a good one. That absolutely. Yeah, that I mean, we could do that another day. I mean, it's like the ride invisible thing. Don't ride to conditions of the law. You ride to the conditions. And that will make sense when I say it next time. PF says the van driver claimed he did nothing wrong. Am I getting this in the wrong order?
Probably.
No, I'm not. I don't think I have. No. The van driver claimed he did nothing wrong. It was windy and he drove to the conditions he claimed he was made an example of for public relation reasons.
Bollocks.
What?
Don't worry about it.
If the inside lane's clear, whatever. What else we got here? Skeggy Cruiser says, great hangout peeps. Really sorry I couldn't join tonight. Still not quite with it. Night, folks. Cheers, buddy. Hopefully, Skeggy, mate, we'll see you next week.
Skeggy.
Get well
Feel
soon.
better,
Get on your
Skeggy.
feet soon, dude. Okay, let's try and balance these ones out then. So, Jisuto77 says, found classic cars going very slow on the motorway today, obviously on the way to Goodwood. I very much appreciate them and forgive them. Electric cars on the motorway, though, don't get me started.
I think it's all
Indeed. Indeed. I do like to see the classic cars going down the motorway. I tell you that, it's something to... a bit of a distraction sometimes, isn't it? Because you're like, oh, that is looking nice. But yeah, I understand that one. Disuto77 also says, I always do this whether on a car or bike. I would... They're on a car. I'm guessing it means in a car or on a bike. If I see someone just very slowly creeping, overtaking up the side of me, I slow down for them. Even if they have a more powerful vehicle capable of propelling them to double the speed, I find them dangerous. Yes, and I agree, mate. Absolutely. Super job. And Blithering Biker says, I drove a 1.4 Renault Scenic. To be able to join the motorway at a decent speed safely, I need to be able to put some power, as much as a 1.4 has, down. Nothing worse than someone dawdling down, dawdling along, ignorance. Yeah. I think that's the most dangerous thing, trying to join a motorway where you've got trucks doing 56, 58 miles an hour, and they're coming up on you, and some idiot is going down the slip road at 30 miles an hour. It's all going to go wrong at the end, isn't it? Clearly. And also, PF says, witness marks means bolt nuts has been torqued down correctly. It witnesses that fact. Exactly, yeah, mate. I didn't know that's what you meant by witness marks, but yes, the marking of the bolts, which we haven't done because we haven't quite finished putting Mrs. B's bike back together. And that's a lesson learned for me is, until that job's done, always check. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Right, we've cleared down the Q&A. Oh, we're slightly running over. So it only gives us enough time to run through the panel and say our goodbyes. And thank you, everyone, firstly, for joining tonight. It's been awesome. So I'm going to go to Bobby first. I know you need to get going. Bobby, would you like to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
Cheers, Bobby. Gastron.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I'll see you later. I'm just going to zip away. I'll be back after.
Okay, cheers, Gaz. Richard. Not too long, please, buddy.
What? What's up? What's the
Just
question?
need to say goodbye to the folks.
Goodbye to the folks.
Cheers, Richard. That was awesome. Probably one of your best goodbyes. Right. Let's go to something. Maybe we can get some words of wisdom tonight before we leave.
Not really. I think we've had so much tonight of wisdom anyway, but the only thing I'd say is a lot of people think that speed is the cause of a lot of accidents, but a lot of the accidents are caused by slow speed.
Other drugs are available.
Yeah. So, anyway, good night, everybody. It's nice to see you all here tonight. I know Calm's got a speech for us in a minute anyway, so I'll hand it over to him.
We've already done Calm.
Have we? Oh, I thought, my God.
Blink, can you miss it?
Yeah, he's done a job tonight. Tosh, just over to you for goodbyes, buddy.
Okay. I would like to thank my wife. I would like to thank the dog, cat. I would like to thank my mother-in-law, and also my father-in-law.
Excellent. Cheers, Tosh. That was lovely. I love the way you ended that. Let's go across to Weggy. Oh, come on, Weggy.
So I didn't hear a bloody thing.
Just need to say goodbye, buddy.
Very informative. Much enjoyed. Now remember, people, you're never too old or arrogant to learn new things.
You're never too old to wear a condom.
Yeah, absolutely, Tosh. Right, it's got to...
Even if she's only 16, you can still make her pregnant.
Did you say 16?
No,
Dave, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Hi, Tom.
Good to see you, Dave.
Hey, I'm getting ready for when I go back to work. I've got to get my head back in.
You're looking good.
Doesn't night all cures constipation?
No, I think that. Are you thinking night nurse? Night nurse? I don't know.
No, not all. No, not all.
Right,
There you
excellent.
go,
So if
there.
anyone's got constipation tonight, night all's what you want.
I didn't have constipation earlier. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Christ, really? We're not ending on constipation.
Apparently not.
Dear. Right, the GT77 finishes off the Q&A with...
Can I just say, Andy, before we go, if you've got constipation, I always find a muddy stick helps.
No. Digital extraction works best.
What, like a Kirby?
No, digital extraction works best.
Olive oil. Olive oil's useful.
Yeah.
I always find a muddy stick does the job as well.
I'd put olive oil on the stick.
Oh, do you know how wrong that sounds, Richard?
No.
Yeah, I think he does. No, he does.
Well, if ever I've got constipation, just go to a gay bar. It sorts it out straight away.
You're supposed to be
Okay,
getting it out,
really is
not
time
pushing it
then
back
just
in.
to go. It's time to go to the Q&A. Finish off. Decido77 says, not that chat. It's very decent and enjoyed spending the time with you yet again. Toss is about to leave the building.
It is.
Okay.
Right.
So yes,
Wanna be
thank you
my
everyone in the panel for joining tonight. Yes,
With his
that
extra
will be-
little.
Yes, I will continue this later. But yes, I would just want to say thank you to all the panel tonight for making a really enjoyable and informative hangout tonight. It's been really good. And I also want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned in and watched tonight and anyone that watched later. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it fun and informative as usual. And it was a good one tonight, I must say.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, thanks very much for watching.
Better, mate.
What's that?
I hope your constipation gets better, mate.
Yeah, I've not actually got constipation. I think it's everyone else.
Some of them faces
I'm all right.
tonight, I thought
You
they
are there unless you can
constipation.
find somebody with some extra small waterproofs.
If you've got,
Yeah,
if you
no,
can
I
send me
just
stuff
need
in
to
the
lose
step
some
below,
weight.
I'll post them back to you.
Yeah, cheers, Richard. I'll PM my address. You can get those waterproofs off to me ASAP. That'd be awesome. Right. So thanks for watching, and of course, before we go, don't forget to ride safe,
Ride your wife.
ride invisible,
Right,
ride.
Right, Rolf
Ride the
Harris.
dog.
Bye.